My name is Debbie Rosen-Solo. I'm an attorney. I specialize in representing purchasers from abroad in real estate transactions in Israel. In Israel, the most crucial stage of the transaction, any real estate transaction, is signing of contract. At contract, all deeds are signed between the sides. A significant amount of money is paid, somewhat 15%, and the tax authorities need to be notified of the transaction within 50 days of signing of contract. For this reason, it is important to make all inquiries ahead of time because once the contract is signed, the buyer and the seller are bound by it, and any change or alteration of contract are likely to cause significant implications and monetary consequences. For this reason, it is important to check the title ahead of time before signing of contract. Your lawyer should go down to the land authorities or wherever the property is registered, make sure that there are no liens, there are no mortgages, there are no conflicting rights, there are no problems with the property. In the States, there's a possibility of obtaining title insurance that it protects you against all these different problems that may incur. In Israel, there is no such insurance, and it is your lawyer's responsibility to make sure that there are no problems with the property. Financial checks. Because of the harsh ramifications of changing or altering contract once it's signed, it is important for the purchaser to check ahead of time how he is going to finance his project, how he's going to finance his purchase, and it is important to find out when his money is going to be available for him. If your money is invested in a very good investment that is making good interest, it would be a shame to pull it out before it's necessary, and the payment schedule can be structured so that you will take out your money when it becomes available to you. All these things can be arranged during negotiation. In terms of negotiating a mortgage, banks in Israel and financial institutions are likely to finance up to 70% of your purchase. It is important to find out ahead of time how much you are able to get from your bank. It will be 70% of the property value or the property price, the lower of the two. The bank will send their assessor, their surveyor, to check the price and the worth of the property, and then they will let you know how much they are willing to finance for you. You should get approval in writing prior to signing of contract so you know exactly where you stand with these issues. Now, if the bank feels that your purchase may be risky, meaning if you are purchasing in the areas that they feel are not a good investment, or if you are purchasing in the shtachim or in other places, they may not approve a mortgage, and therefore it is very important that you seek these things ahead of time. Contractors are required by Israeli law to provide the purchaser with a way to address a situation in which a builder falls into financial difficulty and is unable to complete the building process. According to Israeli law, for every 15% of a purchase price that he will pay towards the property, the contractor has to provide him with such guarantee. But in order to ensure that every cent, every penny that the purchaser puts down on the property is insured, the purchaser may ask for a contingent bank guarantee, which means that for every penny that you put down, the contractor has already prior given you a bank guarantee, which will take effect once the money is put into the account. First you get the bank guarantee, the money goes into the account, and at that point the bank guarantee takes effect. It is not always possible to obtain such a bank guarantee, but it's definitely worth a try. You should make sure to ask your lawyer to fight for one of these. Otherwise, make sure that the bank guarantee is given within a very short time. It should be stipulated in your contract that within a day or two from making payment, the bank guarantee should go into effect. The second thing that is very important to ensure is to make sure that in the contract it is stipulated that payments should be made into a specific bank account which is only relevant to the project within you are purchasing the property. For every project, for every area where your contractor bills, there should be a different bank account, a separate bank account, only for the payments that you are made. Now, in making the payments, it is very important to follow the orders that are stipulated in the contract and make sure that all of the payments are made into the specific bank account from which you will later on get the bank guarantee, or ahead of time, if you are able to negotiate for a contingent bank guarantee, make sure to get the bank guarantee for that account and then only put the money into the specific bank account that is stipulated on the bank guarantee. When you come to negotiate for your contract to purchase a property in Israel, you will ask the contractor or his representative what the different costs are. And one of the things he might mention is legal fee. Now, many purchasers might think that this legal fee is in order to cover representation of theirs in the process. This fee can come up to 1 to 2%. In very few cases it's included, but generally it's an additional fee. And in practice, the lawyer's fee goes to the contractor's lawyer for the services rendered to the contractor. The purchaser should not rely on the contractor's lawyer to represent his interests, because the contractor's lawyer has the contractor's interests at heart, and he must make sure to get a lawyer of his own who specializes in real estate purchases of this sort to protect his own interests. The first tip I can give is get familiar with the purchasing process before you sign a contract, or make sure to hire someone or get someone to represent you who understands the system very well. Never sign any document before having a lawyer check it over. According to Israeli law, even a used wrinkled napkin can be considered a binding contract according to Israeli law. You do not want to jeopardize any of your rights. You do not want to make any contingencies before you look over the proper contract. You made all the proper checks, as we mentioned before. You make sure that there are no problems, no liens, no problems with title, no problem engineering problems, and so on and so forth. You want to know exactly where you stand and what the property is worth before you put a down payment down, because once you are bound by the contract, it is very difficult to get out of it later on.